Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 23rd of March, 2015. The essence is, sweet children, your faces should be constantly happy, should be constantly Kushnuma, because God is teaching you. Your faces should be sparkling with this happiness. The question is, what main effort do you children have to make now? What main effort do you children have to make now? The answer is, you have to make effort to be liberated from punishment. For this, the pilgrimage of remembrance is the main thing. It is by having this remembrance that your sins are absolved. Remember Baba with love, and you will continue to accumulate a great deal of income. By waking up early in the morning and sitting in remembrance, you will forget the old world, and only things of knowledge will then enter your intellects. You children must not let any rubbish emerge from your lips. You must not let any kichad patti emerge from your lips. The song for today's Murli is, having found you, we have found everything. The earth and the sky belong to us. तुम्हें पाके हमने जहां पा लिया है, ज़मी तो ज़मी आसमां पा लिया है. Om Shanti. When you listen to the song, you understand its meaning. You also experience the happiness that God is teaching you and giving you the kingdom of the world. However, very few are able to maintain this happiness for long. Their remembrance does not remain stable. We belong to the Father, and the Father is teaching us. There are many who don't maintain such intoxication. People listen to the spiritual stories in those spiritual gatherings, and they experience happiness while listening. Here, the Father tells you such beautiful things. The Father is teaching you and is also making you into the masters of the world. Therefore, you students should experience so much happiness. Those who are studying here don't experience as much happiness as those who study a worldly education. It just does not remain in their intellects. The Father has explained, listen to such songs 4 to 5 times. When you forget the Father, you remember the old world and your old relationships. At such times, listen to these songs and you will remember the Father. When you say Father, you will remember your inheritance. You receive this inheritance by studying. You study with Shiv Baba in order to become the masters of the world. What else do you need? Such students should experience so much internal happiness, day and night. Your sleep would be lost day and night. You should renounce sleep and especially continue to remember that Father and Teacher with intoxication, as though you are totally lost in that one. Oh ho! We are receiving the kingdom of the world from the Father. However, Maya does not allow you to have remembrance. You have remembrance of your friends and relatives, etc. You continue to think about all of them. Many remember old and rotten rubbish. They have no intoxication about what the Father tells them, that they are becoming the masters of the world. The faces of those who study at a school always remain happy. Here, God is teaching you. Very few of you are able to maintain this happiness. Otherwise, your mercury of happiness would remain high. You forget that the unlimited Father is teaching you. If you remembered this, you would remain happy. However, the suffering of the past karma of some children is such that they don't remember the Father. They turn their face towards rubbish. Baba isn't saying this about everyone. All are number-wise. The most fortunate ones are those who remember the Father and also remember that God, Baba, is teaching them. Just as students in that study remember that such and such a teacher is making them into barristers, so here, God is teaching us in order to make us into gods and goddesses. Therefore, there should be so much intoxication. Whilst listening to this, the intoxication of some of you rises, but the rest of you do not understand anything. People adopt a guru, believing that he will take them back with him, or that he will enable them to meet God. Here, this one himself is God. He enables you to meet him in order to take you back with him. People adopt a guru for him to take them back with him to the abode of peace. Here, the Father explains so much to you personally. You are students. At least remember the teacher who is teaching you. However, there is absolutely no remembrance at all. Don't even ask. Even good children don't have remembrance. Shiv Baba is teaching us. He is the ocean of knowledge. He is granting us the inheritance. If you remembered this, your mercury of happiness would rise. The Father is telling you all of this personally, but your intoxication of this still does not rise. Your intellects wander in other directions. The Father says, remember me and your sins will be absolved. I guarantee this to you. I repeat, I guarantee this to you. Do not remember anyone except the one Father. What is the point of remembering things that are going to be destroyed? When someone dies here, people remember him for 2 to 4 years afterwards. They keep praising him. The Father now personally says, children, remember me. The more you remember Baba with love, the more your sins will be cut away. You will also earn a great deal of income. Wake up early in the morning and remember the Father. Devotees also do their devotion early in the morning. However, you are on the path of knowledge. You must not become trapped in the rubbish of the old world. Many children become trapped in such a way, don't even ask. They don't move away from rubbish. They keep talking about things of rubbish throughout the day. The things of knowledge just don't enter their intellects. However, there are some children who run around on service throughout the day. The Father, of course, remembers those who do service. At present, it is Manohar who stays doing the most service. Today, she goes to Karnal. Tomorrow, somewhere else. She continues to run around for service. What service would those who quarrel among themselves do? Who is loved by the Father the most? Those who do service very well. Those who are concerned about service day and night are the ones who win the Father's heart. By continuing to listen to these songs again and again, you will be able to stay in remembrance, and your intoxication will rise a little. Baba has said, if any of you feel a little sad at any time, play these records and you will have happiness. Oh ho! We are becoming the masters of the world. The Father simply says, remember me. The study is very easy. Baba has selected 10 to 12 good records, which everyone should have. But you children still forget him. Some even stop studying. Maya attacks them whilst they are moving around. The Father shows you a very easy way to make your intellect Satopradhan from Tamopradhan. Each of you has now received an intellect to discriminate between right and wrong. You people called out to the Father, "O purifier, come." Now that the Father has come, you should become pure. There are burdens of innumerable births on your heads. Therefore, the more remembrance you have, the purer you will become, and there will also be happiness. Although you continue to do service, each of you also has to keep an account for yourself as to how much you remember the Father. No one is able to keep an accurate chart of remembrance. You write down the points, but you forget to have remembrance. The Father says, "Stay in remembrance whilst you give lectures, and you will receive a lot of power." Otherwise, the Father says, "I also go and help many children. I enter some and do service." Service has to be done. When I see that someone's fortune is to open up, but the one who is explaining doesn't have that much wisdom, I enter and do service. Then some write and say, "Baba is the one who did this service. I didn't have enough strength. It was as though Baba spoke a Murli." However, others develop arrogance, believing that they explained very well. The Father says, "I enter some to bring benefit to souls, and they then become even cleverer than the teacher." If I were to send a teacher who is a buddhu, that is someone not so clever, the student would think, "I am able to explain better than this one," or "This one has no virtue." The judge would be ashamed. The Father would say, "How can I punish someone I have been sustaining?" At that time, you would look down and cry out in distress, "The Father explained and taught so much, but I didn't pay attention." Dharamraj is also with the Father. He knows your horoscope. You can now see this happening in a practical way. Some souls follow the path of purity for 10 years. Then Maya suddenly punches them in such a way that they lose all the income that they had earned, and they become impure. There are many such examples. Many fall. Many are distressed throughout the whole day by storms of Maya, and they even forget the Father. They don't have the happiness of receiving the unlimited kingdom from the Father. As well as lust, there is also attachment. You have to conquer attachment here. What is the point of allowing your heart to become attached to someone impure? Yes, there should be the thought of giving that one the Father's introduction and uplifting him. How can I make this one worthy to live in the temple of Shiv, to live in Shivalaya? Internally, create methods for that. There is no question of attachment in that. No matter how loving your relatives may be, continue to explain to them. Do not be pulled by anyone out of deep love. Otherwise, they will not be reformed. You have to become merciful. You have to have mercy for yourself and then for others. The Father, too, feels mercy. You have to see how many you can make similar to yourself. You have to give Baba the proof of how many you have given the Father's introduction to. Those souls should also write and say, "Baba, I have been given a very good introduction by this one." Only when Baba receives the proof can he understand that you are doing service. They should write to Baba and say that the teacher is very clever. She does service very well, and she teaches very well. However, some children fail in the subject of yoga. They do not have the sense to remember Baba. The father explains, at the time of eating, eat whilst in remembrance of Shiv Baba. When you go for a walk, remember Shiv Baba. Don't gossip. Even if you have to think about business, remain engaged in remembrance of Baba. The father says, by all means, do what you have to. Sleep. But, together with that, also do this. There should be remembrance for at least 8 hours. However, that will happen at the end. Gradually increase your chart of remembrance. Some write, we stayed in remembrance for 2 hours. However, as they move along, their charts become weak. Maya also makes them disappear. Maya is very powerful. Those who remain busy doing this service throughout the day are the ones who are able to have remembrance. They continue to give the Father's introduction to everyone. Baba emphasizes remembrance a great deal. You yourselves feel that you are unable to stay in remembrance. It is in this remembrance that Maya causes obstacles. The study is very easy. You are studying with the Father. The more wealth of knowledge you take from the Father, the wealthier you will become. The Father teaches everyone. The Murli goes to everyone. It isn't just you in Madhuban who are studying, but everyone is studying. When the Murlis don't arrive at a center, they cry. However, there are also those who don't listen to the Murli. They just keep moving along in whatever way they want. You should be interested in listening to the Murli. The song, Baba, we have come to claim our inheritance, is first class. They also say, Baba, whatever I am, however I am, even if I am one-eyed, I am yours. That is fine. But, having become dirty, they should become better. Everything depends on yoga and how you study. After belonging to the Father, every child should have the thought, now that I belong to the Father, I will definitely go to heaven. However, you also have to think about what you want to become in heaven. Study very well and imbibe divine virtues. If you remain like monkeys, what status would you claim? Subjects and servants are also needed there. Those who don't study now will carry the burden there of those who have studied. The more effort you make, the greater the happiness you receive. If you become very wealthy, you will get a great deal of respect. Those who study well are respected a great deal. The Father continues to give you advice. Remain peaceful in remembrance of the Father. However, Baba knows that some who live far away remain in remembrance more than those who are sitting in front of Baba. Therefore, they claim a higher status. The same thing happens on the path of devotion. Some devotees are very good and first class. They remain in remembrance more than their guru. Those who have performed devotion very well are the ones who come here. All of you are devotees. Sannyasis, etc. will not come. All devotees, having finished their devotion, will come here. Father explains so clearly. The fact that you are taking this knowledge indicates that you have done a great deal of devotion. Those who have done more devotion will study more than those who have done less devotion. The main effort lies in remembrance. Only by having this remembrance can your sins be absolved. You also have to become very sweet. Acha, to the sweetest, long lost and now found, serviceable, faithful, obedient children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for dharana, the first point. No matter how loving your relatives may be, you must not allow any thread of attachment to pull you. You must not allow any rug of attachment to pull you. Become a conqueror of attachment. Become Nashto Moha. Explain to them tactfully. Have mercy for yourself and for others. The second point is, remember the father, the teacher, with a lot of love. Have the intoxication, have the nasha, that God is teaching you, and that He is giving you the sovereignty of the world. When you go for a walk, stay in remembrance. Do not gossip. Do not gossip. The blessing for today is, may you be a conqueror of matter and make all powers cooperative with you according to your orders. May you be a conqueror of matter. May you be Prakriti Jit and make all powers cooperative with you according to your orders. The explanation is, the biggest of all servants is matter. All powers and matter work according to the orders of the children who have received the blessing of being a conqueror of matter. That is, matter cooperates at a time of need. However, if instead of becoming a conqueror of matter, you waste your time in the sleep of carelessness, in the albelepan ki neend, in the intoxication of temporary attainments, in the intoxication of alpkal ki prapti, or dancing in the intoxication of waste thoughts, then the powers cannot work according to your orders. Therefore, first of all check, are your main powers of thinking, of making decisions, and your sanskars in order? So what do we have to check? The main powers of thinking, sankalp ki shakti, of making decisions, nirnay ki shakti, and sanskars, sanskar ki shakti, are they in order? The slogan is, continue to sing praise of Bap Dada's virtues, and you will become an embodiment of virtues yourself. Continue to sing the praise of Bap Dada's virtues, of Bap Dada's gun, and you will become an embodiment of virtues yourself. You will become Gunmurt yourself. Om Shanti.